Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Alignay and Mr. Kutz Alignay for another afternoon. Napasubo ka sa akin.
Sobra.
So we hope that you will join us as we continue our discussion in Better Together.
Better together.
Being, can you read the title? Better Together.
Being a resilient couple.
My God,
I think
such a
being-
big word.
I think me being here with you is also showing resilience.
So,
In a way,
naman.
developing resilience. Diba? Siyempre, hindi mo maimbita sa mga ganito, pero go. Out of
siguro
love.
love mo ako, no?
Out of love to develop resilience.
Yes,
diba? Oo.
because
Ano ba mga napag-usapan?
the other day, ano nga ba mga napag-usapan
Hindi ko alam
natin?
eh.
For
Replay
friends who
natin.
are here, I would like to ask you what are the things that you catch us saying and then what you've learned from us the other day, because well, we talked about its resilience is a process that from the point of being so down to the point of getting up again, it's not automatically bouncing back. Ang grueling doon, the process of learning, transformation happens in the process itself. So, anong na-pick up nyo the other day, friends? And also we talk about what's not couple resilience. It's not about being strong. It's not a magic formula. Yan, di ba? Hindi yan automatic na nangyayari. At lalong-lalo na, hindi din siya, it's not about love.
It's not just about love.
It's not about love. It's about a lot of commitment, guts.
Nabisahan mo kanina, grueling.
Yeah, grueling.
In that span from that time.
That span of time. From the rock bottom in your relationships or in any critical moments in your marriage or in the circumstances around you, loss, death. So that grueling emotion, that's actually the process of transformation to be resilient.
Yes.
Kaya I think I threw our friends here in Coffee Break the question that in your relationship here in this pandemic situation, are you in the point that you are thriving in your marriage, or are you at the point of you are at the rock bottom, or nandun ka sa gitna? So we talk about languishing. Anong nagpapadala ka lang kung anong meron, bahala na. Yan, parang lagi na lang kasama si Batman sa inyong
equation, no?
Yes, yung bahala na si Batman. May date ba tayo? Bahala na si Batman.
Lagi na si Batman. Si Batman baka date.
So I think it will be good for us to reflect that we don't need to, hindi natin kailangan na si Batman ang maging in charge. We need to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Resilience will just not fall into our laps. We need to be an active participant. So the other day, we shared with them 4 areas that they can look into if you are a resilient couples. So sa mga nandito na, we have some friends here, continue with sharing what you've learned. So we talk about positive emotions. There's fostering kayong dalawa as a couple or in your family life or applicable in many healthy relationships. You are fostering positive emotions. The second,
optimistic view of life.
Yes. Maganda pa ba tingin mo sa buhay?
Mm-hmm.
Gwapo ba at maganda tingin mo dyan sa kasama mo?
Oo, sa esposo mo. Esposo ba ang Tagalog nun? Esposo.
Hindi, that's Spanish.
Ito, Spanish nun. Number 3, favorite natin to, appreciating humor.
Tumatawa pa ba kayo? Napapatawa niyo pa ba't napapangiti ang isa't isa?
Mas gusto ko pala itong number 4. Being grateful. Or
Yes.
Grateful for that special person
have you
in your
really
life.
Have you really considered what are you grateful for about the people you love, especially if you're married or you have a partner? What are you grateful for that person? So yan ang demand namin. Put that in the comments. So marami tayong mga friends na nanonood, nakikinig over lunch break. So put that in the chat. What are you grateful for?
Simple lang, no?
Simple pero ang hirap kaya.
Oo, simple basahin pero mahirap
simple
gawin.
basahin. And
grueling
in
process.
the context,
It's grueling.
in the context, you just would like to contextualize it. That all of this nangyayari pag may pinagdadaanan na bigat. Yun yung mahirap doon kasi sa ordinary circumstances, if you feel really good, automatic yung sinabi natin. But despite of lack, despite of loss, despite of the state of languishing, or the state of you feel like, I don't want to be married today. I don't like him today.
I don't want to see you. I don't want to
Yes.
anything to do with you.
I'm hurt about what happened. I am hurting. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. In the middle of those, you still say those things. So that's being resilient. That's being in the process. Nakatingin ka sa akin, wala sa mukha ko yung sagot.
At may tanong ba? No, I'm remembering those times that we were at our rock bottom na, oo, ang daling sabihin na to be optimistic, to be positive, to appreciate humor, pero ang hirap ng proseso to do that. And, and that word really captured it, yung languishing, yung grueling. It really is not automatic.
It's not automatic.
And hindi lang kaya ng...
It's a process.
It's a process. And when I tried, when I tried to bounce back from where we were, hindi lang pala kaya ng basta checklist o to-do list. Diba? Hindi lang pala kaya basta
na... Nakala mo sa akin? Kasama sa checklist?
Checklist. Number 1, checklist ba? Be grateful for my wife. Number 2, pansinin siya. Number 3, paggawa ng coffee. I mean, hindi lang pala kaya ng basta ganun lang.
It's not a chore.
Yun, kasi lumalabas sa chore.
Yes.
And I feel na pag hindi ko na-checkan to, hala, or pag, even if na-checkan ko lahat ng nasa task list ko, dahil ginawa kitang task, hindi pa rin eh. Parang hindi umuusad. May kulang.
Yeah, because there's not, it's made out of task and chore, not really out of...
Naging obligasyon.
Yes, it's not an outpouring of love and commitment.
Outpouring.
Oo. Di ba?
So, kailangan outpouring, kailangan mapuno muna.
Oo, kaya kailangan puno muna. So, because that's why it's so hard when you are in the middle of a difficulty. It's so hard, ito yung susunod na point natin, to check if you are resilient and to see how you can improve this. Be active about life and do not wait for things to happen. Naka, friends, ikaw na mag-explain yan, sir.
Be active about life and do not wait for things to happen.
Friends,
ikaw na lang.
Ano tingin nyo dito? Being active about life. Actually, this is, to be honest, to be vulnerable to you guys, this is one of the growth points naming mag-asawa because I am an organized, a planner, and a scheduled person. But ito yung term ko, I organize my time and Kutz has his own time. Diba? I like moving in an organized manner, but he likes moving in the way he organized it. Ganda.
Nung tinagalog niya at naging seryosohan at sabi niya, brat ka kasi, oras mo lang.
Yeah,
have
oras
my
mo
own
lang.
time.
Pag yung sabihin mo na parang, active about life and do not wait for things to happen. And because for me, hindi ko iintahin na perfect lahat ng condition. So, ito na yung paplano ko. Tapos naman siya, parang, wala pa kasi to, hindi ko pa alam yung ganito eh. So, hey, that's not being active about life. You're waiting for my cue. Yun, dun kami nag-aaway.
Naglagan ba itong session na ito?
Yes, but that, we learn to be stronger. We've learned how to
maneuver that.
Ang ganda. Sasayaw ka ngayon, hindi ka kakanta, sir.
Baka hindi lalo gusto si maneuvers.
But if you look at it that way, you just do not wait for things to happen. And along the way, you've learned how not to wait for things to happen or not wait for your wife to cue you.
And in the same way, you've also learned na to give me space, to give me time, to give me chance na teka, baka may plaplanuhin na mamaya, baka maunahan ko lang.
Yeah, kasi ladies, kung tayo ay to organize sa mga nakaka-relate na parang ako na gusto lahat may sagot hanggang end of the year, hindi ganon kasi we're not giving them the chance, the opportunity. Kahit na minsan it's frustrating, gusto na nating iplano lahat. Alam ko maraming mga babaeng ganyan. Gusto mong planuhin lahat. Gusto mong, hindi para settled na. You want to be active, but we don't need to be too active to the point that we're no longer giving our partners a chance to grow.
I remember the time na natanungan ni Michele sa anong plano mo this weekend?
What's your plan?
What's your plan? Diba? Kaming dalawa plano, wala pang
dalawa.
kids.
Okay.
Wala pang kids.
Nung may kids na kami, ganun pa rin naman yung tanong ko sa
Pero
kanya.
nagtatanong na yung mga
Pero
anak ko.
yung mga bata nung nagkasalita na ganito, what's your plan? What's gonna happen this weekend? And
May maboses nila.
Maliit pa sila. And then gaganit na lang ako sa kanya.
Ask your dad.
Ask your dad. Nakangiti lang
So,
ako.
wala pa akong plano for that weekend. Pero pag tinanong ko siya, may plano na siya. Actually, all the weekends of that month, for the next 3 months, may plano na. Di ba? Ganun ka, So, I don't know if there are guys or men here listening, pero it's also a call for us
may
to,
nagigilty.
guilty.
Nagsalita na siya. So, sa iba pang
So,
nagigilty, press heart and press same here.
Kahit ba dapat pag guilty
Yeah.
or yung crying face?
So, we just have, I think being a resilient couple is being able to understand that we are different.
Yes. Accepting, not just understanding.
Yeah. And in being active about life, you have a different definition of being active about life. But the thing that we need to really move out of is just to be passive about life. Magkaiba lang tayo ng detalye, magkaiba lang tayo ng ginagalawan, pero I believe that both couples should be active. If maybe I'm on the micro details, you are in the bigger details. If you are in the bigger details, I'll be in the micro details. So it can be like that. So but we just don't wait for things to happen. Hindi na lang natin i-depend sa kung ano lang sabihin ng parents nyo, kung ano lang sabihin, bahala na kasi depende pa sa opisina. So a lot of we don't need to depend our circumstances on other people. Meron pang isang nagko-comment. Tinatawag niya yung asawa niya.
Oo, si Kuya, tinatag si Ate Sweden. Anyway, I remember na sinabi mo lang yan. Advice sa amin nung aming ninong and ninang. I learned about the positivity na what differentiates them or what we got from them, what I got from them. Pag daw si wife, si girl, si wife, ay nakaisip ng plano.
Na madalas siya
nakaisip ng plano.
Si
husband, kaya na, parang pareho natin sila, di ba? O tago na sa pangalang Ninong Mel and ang Ninang Daday, De Leon. So, ang pinagkakaiba, si Ninong, pag nakaisip ng plano si Ninang, excited, kumakarga. Si Ninong, remember this?
Sinasabayan ko yung enthusiasm and excitement. So that both of you will create a momentum. You are being active or taking charge together.
So regardless of kung let's say sino ang quote-unquote nauna, nakaplano, but in the same way, biglang sumakay sa bangka.
Sorry. Parang may drama pa. Ako na naman nakaisip. Wala ka bang naisip?
Baka may magtag na naman dyan, guilty. Ako na naman nakaisip.
So, yeah, that's something that if we would like to be both active about life, gusto yun, we have to also support each other's enthusiasm. Not just the plans, but be excited for each other. Kasi in the end, pamilya rin naman yung marriage at pamilya rin naman yung magbe-benefit. Okay, next, may nag-hi dito. Si Barnido Nihan. Hi, Kier! Miss ka na ng buhok ko.
Siya ba si Kier?
Si Kier yan. Miss na siya ng hair ko.
Sama mo na yung buhok ko, Kier.
Saka si Renren. Okay. Task-oriented. Wait. Okay, ito difficult to. So the first part, it's active about life. The second, you can identify issues that can be changed, then change them. Again, can identify issues that can be changed and change them.
Task-oriented. Tama.
Tanggalin mo yung task-oriented. And identify issues that... So, in everyday life, may issue.
Ba't mo ko tingnan?
Kasi minsan, di ba, ang nangyayari, kaya nagde-deadlock ang issue. Kaya hindi makabangon kasi yung isa ayaw aminin na issue yun.
Kaya mo ko tinignan.
Wala lang.
Ako lang ba? May issue? Ako lang may issue?
Kasi ikaw lang naman yung kapatid ko dito. Ikaw lang naman yung asawa ko. Alam naman sa iba ako tumingin, di ba? So, we need to recognize that that's an issue. And the other one, if you recognize, you need to recognize also that it's an issue for the other. Mahirap yung dinidismiss. Kasi pag dinismiss na yan, dyan na nangyayari yung away.
Dinideny.
Oo. Dinideny or projecting the issue. Hindi ko naman issue mo yan di ba? So, look at it that way. Can identify issues that can be changed. So, kailangan din, friends, yung pangatlo dyan, connected. We need to learn, accept what cannot be changed. Yan ang pinakamahirap. Kasi
kanina, di ba, if identify issues that can be changed and change them. And ngayon, karugtong,
kasi
those that cannot be changed,
accept what cannot be changed. Because in reality, alam mo ang pinakamahirap baguhin, yung hindi mo talaga kontrolado.
Yun, kaya marami na siya na-accept dahil hindi niya ako kontrolado.
So friends, alam nyo, hindi natin kahit na mahal nila tayo at committed tayo, ang sad news ko, I will burst your bubble. Hindi nyo mababago, hindi natin mababago yung asawa
Akala ko
natin.
pag
Titigan
nag-asawa
mo,
siya. Akala ko pag
magbabago rin siya.
Oo.
Yeah, sorry.
Mm-mm.
Marami nang napako dyan. Akala ko love can change you. No, it's not.
Di ba mahal niya ako? Ba't di siya nagbabago
Love will
para
not
sa akin?
change you. Love will not change you. Only the person
Yun.
can allow herself to change. So, itingnan nyo na yan. So, if your partner, even if your family member have some things within them that you would like to change, you identify issues. Ito, mababago ba to? Anong issue to? Issue sa bahay. Issue to ng home management. Pwede bang baguhin? Pwede. Pagtulungan natin. Tapos tanggapin mo ano yung hindi mo kaya. Hindi natin kayang baguhin siya, yung partner.
Same.
Ba't ka natatawa?
Naalala ko lang, no, path to peace pa talaga ang understanding and acceptance. Kung na-realize ng one of you na hindi mo talaga mapabago yung asawa mo, tanggapin mo na as is. Bonus na lang pag nagbago.
Bonus talaga. Bonus
sino
na
bang-
madaming. Hindi
Sino
lang
ba hindi
sa
masaya pag bonus? Sino ba hindi masaya sa bonus?
1 year bonus. Lifetime bonus.
Lifetime
yan,
bonus.
pag kaya dasal lang talaga.
Isa yun.
Isa yun. Kasi
Oo,
samahan
hindi
mo
lang
ng
doon.
dasal. Di ba yan nga yung prayer for serenity? Kaya sinabi mo, path to peace. That's the prayer for serenity. God grant me the
Serenity.
the serenity
To
to accept the things that cannot be changed.
or people or person
Or partner, or
partner.
spouse. Courage to change the things I can. Pero minsan kasi, ang kailangan natin baguhin is actually the way we look at it.
Kaya courage.
Courage to change the things we can. Maybe the way you will look at it. We're looking at side A, but there's a side B.
Pero siya yung pangatlong line ng prayer.
Yes, courage to change the things I can.
And
the last part, the wisdom. To know the difference. Kahapon dun sa homily ni Father Joel, wisdom, it's actually
Father Joel
a gift.
Hudson.
Yeah, our favorite priest. Hi, Father. Wisdom is actually a gift. Hindi lahat meron. Kaya talagang magdadasal tayo sa Holy Spirit to give us that wisdom. Saklaw ko ba to o hindi? Yung hilik niya, hilik ko pala. Saklaw ba, hindi mo na mababago yon.
Huwag mo nang tanongin gano'ng kalakas hilik mo kagabi. Pero napuya tayo.
Grabe siya.
Grabe
siya. So the first one, active about life. Being a resilient couple, you have to be active about life, identify issues that can be changed, then change them. And the third, accept what cannot be changed. Friends, nakaka-relate ba kayo sa mga sinasabi natin? Alin dito yung masakit?
Baka tayo lang.
Alin dito yung masakit? May kausap pa kami.
Baka tayo lang. Ganito, ayaw lang
ngayon.
umamin.
Parang kumakain pa sila or
Siguro.
ginagawa nila tayong radyo sa tanghali. Okay, and the fourth one, able to think at one's feet and find new insight and solutions. Yan talaga yung resilience. Alam mo dati, narinig ko to sa talk that we cannot operate on the same pattern that gave the problem. Ayan yun, no? Yan yun. Able to think at one's feet. Hindi ibibigay sa'yo lahat ng solusyon.
Parang pareho tayong pinakinggan na talk pero iba lang yung pagkakasabi.
Sige.
Ang sinabi naman niya, don't expect new things of doing the same things.
Mag-iba tayo ng talk na pinakinggan.
Mag-iba tayo pero okay, fine.
Kasi sa akin yun, you cannot operate on the same pattern that gave you that problem. So, you have to find new insights and solutions to your circumstances.
Yes.
And I always share with friends in coffee break that, and always say it with us, that what operates in the pre-pandemic may not operate or may not be helpful right now. So, yan yung kailangan nating ma-check. Yan ang kailangan natin makita. Nakakagawa pa ba tayo ng new solutions dito sa pagsubok na dinaanan natin? May bago ba akong natututunan? Ano masasabi mo? Are you able to think at your feet now?
Yes.
Or friends, kailangan we're able to think at one's feet. Hindi yung mag-iisip tayo dahil sinabi ni Mrs. or sinabi ni Mr. I think we need to move from that dependency spectrum.
May risk din doon, syempre, sa pag-move na yun. Pero calculated risk na yun. If one, kanina sabi, if there's wisdom. And number two, if nag-align tayo lagi sa partner natin, we can definitely think at our feet at that circumstance. Dahil, and willing to take the risk. Dahil medyo aligned na naman tayo. This will be okay with my partner.
Kaya mong tayuan.
Kaya tayuan yung
talagang literally
decision.
at one's feet. Kaya mong tayuan. Para hindi, ito kailangan natin gawin. The family will move this. So, the other one, even though that we have resistance, kasi hindi naman tayo sanay, hindi mahirap yan. Being able to do that, emergency situation, difficult situation, being able to think at one's feet, it's actually a key to resilience because you were able to find new insights and okay, may bagong solusyon kahit na mahirap. Any change entails challenges, di ba? So, okay, nagawa ng paraan, di ba?
In the business environment, tsaka nakikita at narinig natin lately, or noon pa naman actually yung word na agile. Di ba?
Yeah,
So,
agile
yan.
workplace. Yes.
Yan.
So, kailangan natin makita that I think really, pag ang isang couple, they find new insights and solution no matter how difficult the situation may be for them, that's really great. That's really amazing, diba? Yun yung growth. Yun yung literally yung growth.
Yes.
Growth talaga. Okay, last.
Find difficulties as key to psychological strength.
Okay.
Hindi ko siya naintindihan. Sige, ikaw na lang.
Friends, ito na lang tanong ko sa inyo. Pag kayo may problema, ito, yung nagka-COVID, halimbawa, nagka-COVID buong pamilya, ano ang tingin nyo sa bawat problema at pagsubok? Can you put that in the chat?
Psychological strength. Key to psychological strength.
Let's wait for them to answer. Pag walang sumagot, titigil na kami.
Okay, end broadcast.
End broadcast. No, because, ikaw, pag may problema tayo, ano ang tingin mo doon?
At first, kung familiar yung problema, kayang i-move. Pero kung bago, I initially get stuck. And then I would try to solve it on my own. May yabang kaya ko to. But in the end, hindi. Couple nga pala.
Yes.
So that comes na I need to consult. We need to sit down. We need to consult. We need to grow both.
Yes. So
from this
really,
from this
find
problem.
difficulties as key to couples psychological strength. You're both your strength both as a couple. So Eileen is saying redirection. It's good kasi the flexible thinking here happens, and that's a key to resiliency. That flexible thinking is that any difficulty, it's a chance for us to be redirected. Okay, pag nakita mo, Jet is saying, ang tingin mo sa difficulties, challenges. But we also need to see it, paano ka ba nagiging strong? Even it's the strengthening of your psychological muscle. So Minds is saying, reflect on the current situation the family is in. Yes, it's actually any difficulty. It's an invitation. Naniniwala ako for reflection. It's an invitation na, hey, what is it that we can do right or we did right before that we can apply now? Okay, hindi nag-work yung ginawa natin dati. Ano ngayon yung pwede natin gawin? So kung hindi mo ako papansinin, hindi na yung nag-work. Upuan natin tong problemang to. And in that uneasiness, that unease, that's the discomfort, in that moment that you are having difficulty, that's where your, I have to say this word, tenacity and psychological strength happens.
That discomfort should push,
Yes.
should direct, should give strength.
Diba kaya pa sa yoga, you have to know where your most discomfort, halimbawa, in a certain pose, you have to know where are you most, your threshold. Diba sasabihin ni instructor, you know your threshold. Don't push too hard pag hindi ka na komportable because it will break you. Masasaktan ka ng husto. But alam mo na this may discomfort na, sobrang lax kasi hindi mo napupush yung muscles mo. Hindi na strengthen. So for example, if you were doing some crescent lunge or lunges, ibaba mo pa. Ibaba mo pa. Why? Because that point of being uncomfortable but being able to stand firm with your legs, with your arms open wide, that point of discomfort, and then you just breathe in and stay in the pose, that's where and when the strengthening happens. Hindi mo napapansin na may nangyayari na pala sa loob mo.
Until that level of discomfort eventually becomes our level of comfort na.
Ganda.
And then we can move
the
again.
level of discomfort becomes your level of comfort.
Mhm.
And you're ready for more mature
Yes,
roles.
for more mature roles.
You're ready for you're ready because you have toughened already. That's resilience.
Mhm.
Nakayanan ko pala. So,
It was a challenge. It was an opportunity as
yes,
well.
that's why
Diba?
it's the keys to psychological growth. So, Miles is saying, is it possible to include the kids or grown-up kids? Yes! Actually, but they're not
Lalo
included
grown-up
in
kids.
they're not included in the marriage.
Yeah.
They're included in the family. So that's when it happens. So alam nyo, there's a favorite thing that in order for kids to be resilient. Let's go to kids. I like telling parents whenever I give parenting session, you have to make kids cringe. As in cringe. To the
I mean,
point na
cringe.
yung parang I don't like, kailangan silang
Makaramdam na
makaramdam ng
discomfort.
discomfort.
Yes.
Because our kids now are too comfortable.
Asan ba ang mga anak nyo ngayon? Anong
I
ginagawa?
think they're in their rooms
Uh-uh.
or they're in their laptops studying. So,
Hopefully studying.
kailangan maramdaman nila na kahit ayaw mo yung chore na yan, kahit alam mo yung task na yan, kailangan mo pa rin gawin.
Kailangan matutunan. Kung hindi mo gustuhin, kailangan matutunan, kailangan pa rin
Alam
gawin.
kong ma-offend ka, alam kong hindi mo yan gusto, pero kukulitin pa rin kita.
Mhm.
Yan. So they have to cringe. They have to have that cringe. Yeah, it's a Gen Z word. Yes. Yeah, that's cringy. They have to cringe. They have to learn how to cringe.
Cringe-worthy. Narinig
Because so you have to really learn how to do it so that we are strengthening the kids. Same with us. Jerome was saying, I was a seafarer and it's very hard to find difficulties as challenge when you are spent body and mind. Yes! Kaya yan yung sinasabi namin kanina na in the middle of a difficulty, it's very hard. That's why it's an invitation for us when we're not in the middle of the challenge to really be resilient, to strengthen our resilience, to look at life in a different angle. Because if we are already spent, it means that we're out of our wits. Dulo na yan.
Ubus na.
Paubos ka na. Bakit mo pwedeng ubusin yung sarili mo wherein meron ka namang possible ways that all starts with how we think and then that it's how we feel and then that's how we act and relate. And the last point, actually, this is the very basic.
Practical.
Practical to friends. Kaya kailangan, you have to take care of your health.
Health in?
Physical health is very important also in being resilient. Bakit?
Not only mental. Oh, physical.
Both physical and mental health.
Kung ano naisip mo, kailangan gawin rin ng katawan mo.
Yes.
Kailangan i-translate sa action.
Kailangan ma-translate. So, if you know how to maintain good body and good health and good physique. Halimbawa, you know how to do exercise and movement. Why? Because I want to be stronger. I want to have proper sleep.
Hindi para sumexy lang basta. Hindi lang
Kasi
para
dapat sexy na ako.
Oo naman, sexy ka. Hindi lang basta pampaganda ng forma. But
because there's the hormones
strengthening
and then the hormones secreting na kailangan for mental health and physical health sa proper circulation. Another is that we need to have good nutrition. You've tested that.
Yes. Nakakalimutan yung nagpapalakas yung katawan pero nakakalimutan yung kung ano yung pinapasok sa katawan.
Yes. So that's good
so nutrition is good food.
We eat to nourish. Mahabang story of
Mahabang
friends.
Iba yan.
Pero we have a resilient story that we need to change our diet because when he got sick, that's the movement of the family to ensure our nutrition. And of course, don't do careless behavior including too much, take note, too much alcohol, too much nicotine or cigarettes, too much junk food. When we have too much of something, kahit sabihin nyo na, favorite ko yan it's still not healthy. And alam mo, even too much of careless behavior. Driving.
Parang careless whisper. Careless behavior.
Iba yun. Careless behavior means that
uncalculated risks ba yan? Driving, sabi mo.
Wala kang pakialam.
Walang pakialam.
You go out, you know that's...
Hindi ka nagmamask.
Yes, hindi ka nagmamask.
Helmet,
alam mo na marami yung cases para lang maipush mo, hindi, gusto ko lang, hindi, okay lang yan. Ngayon ha,
Selfishness.
yeah,
But
whim.
whim.
But that's not being resilient. Being resilient is actually being able to calculate risk and know what is best for your fitness and health. Oh, Yang. Hi, Yang. She said, anything that is too much is bad for us. Everything should be in moderation. Perfect. Check na malaking
Everything
button.
should be on moderation.
Everything, as in all things, should be in moderation. So, ulitin ko lang yung mga points that we shared to be a resilient couple or maybe to be a resilient family for the single ones here. You're active about life, meaning you do not wait for things to happen. That's one. Two, identify issues
that can be changed,
then
then
change
change
them.
them.
Third, accept what cannot be changed. Fourth, think at one's feet and find new insights and solutions. The fifth,
Find difficulties as key to psychological strength.
and seventh, be fit and be healthy. Ang napakahirap naman nun.
Which one?
Be fit and be healthy.
Well, mahirap kung hindi mo gugustuhin. I honor you for taking care of your body.
Yes.
For taking care of your
yes.
health. Not
Oo.
not just to look good, but to
Not
really
just to
strengthen
be
yourself.
sexy and to be in the proper BMI. That's
Proper
another.
BMI.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
because
correct,
other
agree.
people they count,
They count, they watch it.
they know. I don't want to be labeled just because of this scheme, but knowing that I am strong,
Yes.
and knowing that I can move, I
Hmm.
can stand in my down dogs for quite a while, and in the yoga poses, that's enough for me to know that I'm so strong. Maybe not in the strong that other people may seem to be, but I'm just comparing myself to myself.
Yep.
Diba?
Comparing yourself to yourself.
Mm-hmm. So I think we'll just share with you one last point. And that is to recognize unhealthy patterns. Gusto mong kwento yan?
Simulan mo. Wala yun sa script. Unrecognized unhealthy patterns.
Yung sinasabi natin, baka kaya, ito si Jerome, sabi niya, I guess I wasn't ready on those problems. I had to endure when still in a relationship, and when that accident that ends my career as a seafarer. Sorry to hear that. But then, that is a good way. Kanina may nagsabi na difficulties will allow us to reflect. That is the invitation to be resilient, to recognize unhealthy patterns, then change them. Bakit? We need to recognize the pain point. San ba yung laging point of away? San ba yung laging may glitch? San ba yung laging hindi na lang kami, parang pag dito ayaw nating pag-usapan, parang we don't talk about Bruno, parang something like that. But we need to recognize ano yung unhealthy dito sa pamilyang to, because that can be a bacteria that can be the source of a bigger problem later on. Nakuha mo sila.
Nakuha ko, yung unhealthy patterns can either be stemming from just one person,
Mm-hmm.
or the other person is not aware na unhealthy na pala yun.
Yeah.
Oo.
For example,
Or
yung
pareho.
halimbawa ha, kung halimbawa tayo, there were points in our lives na binibring up ko sa yung concern, so ikaw busy ka, hindi mo siya pinapansin.
Dinidismiss ko.
Dinidismiss mo.
Sasantabi ko lang.
That
Giving importance.
That can be an unhealthy pattern if that becomes the mode of operation of how the couples deal with the issue.
Mm-mm.
Eventually, if you don't recognize the unhealthy patterns, this can be the cause of couple disconnection.
Couple disconnection, from that example starts na sasabihin ni Mrs., hindi mo naman pinapakinggan sa sabi ko, o hindi mo binibigyan ng importansya.
Hindi mo naman
Hindi
pinapansin.
mo pinapansin.
Ayaw mo naman harapin.
Ayaw harapin.
So, kung yung isa hindi haharapin, either yung isa gagawa na siya ng paraan on her own, on his own pace, pero iiitsapwera niya yung isang ayaw mag-cooperate. Bakit po mag-spend ng energy?
Which starts another unhealthy pattern.
Yes, that starts another unhealthy pattern na hanggang eventually hindi ka nakasali.
Mm-mm.
Ayaw mong sumali, diyan ka lang.
At magiging tingin naman doon ng isa ay passive yung asawa ko.
Passive yung asawa, wala ka
Walang
namang
pakialam,
ginagawa.
walang-
Hindi ka nga nagtanong kung may budget ba? Hindi ka nga nagtanong parang freeloader ka kuya,
Mm-mm.
freeloader ka ate. Parang we are both in the marriage pero inintay mo lang yung isa because simply you don't want to it all started because you don't want to deal with it. But you know that inability to deal with it, ang dami yan, ang daming hugot
Pero
niyan.
the ability to deal with it, yun also develops the resiliency of the couple.
The ability to deal with it, it's actually that ability to be vulnerable.
Vulnerable,
And
yes.
that vulnerability becomes your strength. Kasi kung hindi mo aaminin na, okay, I need help. Okay, weakness ko to. May issue pala ako nung maliit ako kaya ayokong i-deal with. Feeling mo, resilient ka na. Feeling mo, mawawala na lang yung problema. But baka hindi mawala yung problema. Baka ang mawala yung marriage mo. Baka ang mawala yung relasyon nyo ng pamilya nyo. Di ba?
Ang laking risk.
Would you like
Hindi
this to
mo
happen?
actually dapat i-risk.
Yes, kaya yung title namin, Better Together, Being a Resilient Couple. Kasi if you do not deal with the problem appropriately, healthily, and use it as a turning point of the marriage, it starts with recognizing unhealthy patterns. Kasi pag hindi nyo binigyan ng oras, effort, hindi nyo binigyan ng atensyon, lalaki yan. The pain point can be the wreckage.
Hindi na lang siya pain point.
Diyos ko, hindi na pain, cancer na.
Oo.
Oo, hindi na yan simpleng bagay.
Ang tawag dun sa hindi na magamot na sakit.
Malignant na yan.
Malignant
Oo.
na, oo. Hindi na lang basta once a
Yeah.
pain. Are we wrapping up?
Yeah, we're wrapping up.
Let's
Friends,
wrap up.
are you...
Are there questions
you
here?
have questions
No.
here, and thank you for engaging. Medyo malalim yung sinabi namin, but you know, what did you learn the past year in being a resilient couple? Sa ating dalawa.
Unang-una.
Sa dami ng pinagdaanan
Sa dami
natin.
ng pinag-aaral. Unang-una, acceptance. Accepting na ganito ko. Accepting na ganyan ka. Accepting our differences. Number
Hirap
2,
nun, ha, friend?
mahirap yung
You're ready
accept
for
yun.
more mature roles.
May kasama sa acceptance, kakambal nun lagi is the humility.
Thank you.
The
Thank
humility
you for that.
na hindi ko kaya ito mag-isa.
Mm.
Itaguyod tayo. Hindi ko iaasa lahat sa'yo.
Mhm.
At hindi ko rin, those two big words, I'll call it big words. Big
Your
words.
big words are acceptance and humility.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Without those, mahirap maging
Oo.
grateful. Mahirap makita yung gratefulness kung wala yung dalawang yun.
Ang ganda nung sinabi
Ikaw,
mo.
ano natutunan mo?
Ang
Babalik ko sa'yo.
natutunan ko is that we need to evolve as a couple. What used to be then may not be the same now because we are changing, we are developing persons, we are growing, we are maturing, so many things happening with us. So para sa akin, parang we really need to evolve and get to know each other all over again.
All over again.
So sa mga pagkakataon na nagkaroon talaga ng difficulty, parang okay, restart. But you don't just pick up from where you left off. Get to know anong natutunan mo, kumusta ka, anong nangyari sa'yo, sugatan ka ba, may bali ba, may pain ba. So, and these difficulties can be used actually not just to strengthen us, but to get to know each other better in a more deeper level for more mature roles. And another thing also, yun yung sinabi ko the other day. But sadly, it's not all about love. It's just not all resilience and better together, being together in marriage. It's just not all about love because love can, life's difficulties can actually zap out our loving feelings. But it's about love, commitment, and faith. Kapit kay Lord, hindi sa isa't isa.
Tama.
Diba? Kasi
Ka-faith.
kasi nakakapit ako sa'yo. Diyos ko, mas mahina ka pa sa akin. Anong kakapitan ko? O kaya naman, nakakapit ka sa akin. Ako yung stressor mo.
Mhm.
So, anong kakapitan mo sa akin?
Wala rin.
Walang mangyayari. So, it's not just about love, but it's about love, commitment, and faith put together. Diba?
Amen.
We evolve.
Let's not be
Acceptance.
dinosaurs in our relationships.
So, for us, as a couple, 20 years?
20 years.
20
We're celebrating
years.
our 20th year.
20th year this year. So it's about acceptance for you, humility for me, evolvement, and the last is commitment, love, and faith. Yon. So, may nagsasabi dito,
Have faith.
check ng malaking pink na ballpen ko si Chel. Thank you for sharing your insights, mga kapatid. Magandang araw, friends, for sharing your time with us here at Coffee Break. We're so happy na kahit na para kaming nagninilay-nilay dito, sinamahan nyo kami. We hope that you can sit down with your loved ones, lalo na doon sa mga asawa nyo. Kasi hindi naman mo dito pinagdadaanan natin na sa pandemic pa tayo, pero sana hindi yung relasyon yung mga pandemya. Diba?
Mm-mm.
Kasi we don't allow it to happen. Let's make this time of difficulty the time to be better together and to be resilient couple. Any last words, Mr. Alignay?
This pandemic, one thing that I am grateful for, if there's something to be really grateful for, is the chance to really sit down and work on this marriage, to work on what's needed. So
Kapit lang kay Lord.
I hope wherever you are in that stage of your relationship, you find time to really value it right now.
Yes.
And put more value into
Huwag niyong hanapin yung wala. Tingnan niyo kung saan kayo magaling.
kung anong meron.
Kung anong
And work
meron.
on it.
And be better together. So I hope, friends, that those are good points for us to share with you. Good points for you to grow in your love life, love affair, or love with the love of your life. And share this coffee break episodes to family and friends either via Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify. And importantly, kung love nyo kami at love nyo ang episodes ngayon, you can share the gift of coffee break via Stars or GCash. Just send us a message to give you the QR of GCash via email. So magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. We hope that you keep the love alive. You keep the commitment coming. And this season will just not make you more loving, but more resilient.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.